It's midnight and you're watching Nightline with me, Raymond. News making the headlines. Aidilfitri exodus, traffic at major highways building up. And 2 Malaysian enforcement officers serving in Bangladesh held. Good morning. The 2023 Aidilfitri will be celebrated on Saturday, April 22nd. This was announced by the keeper of the ruler's seal, Tan Sri Syed Daniel Syed Ahmad, on behalf of the ruler's conference on Thursday night.
Bagi menyempurnakan titah perintah Sri Paduka Baginda yang di-Pertuan Agong, setelah diperkenankan oleh Duli-Duli Yang Maha Mulia Raja-Raja, maka adalah dengan ini saya mengisytiharkan bahawa tarikh Hari Raya Puasa bagi negeri-negeri seluruh Malaysia ialah pada hari Sabtu 22 hari bulan April 2023.
Tan Sri Syed Daniel said the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah gave royal assent to the date after consulting with the Malay rulers. The announcement was broadcasted over local radio and television networks. The announcement follows the sighting of the new moon of Shawwal, which was carried out at locations throughout the country on Thursday evening. This year, Malaysians will get an additional rest day for Hari Raya Aidilfitri, as Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has announced that the government would declare a public holiday on Friday if Aidilfitri were to be celebrated on Saturday. Monday will also be a replacement holiday for the second day of Aidilfitri on Sunday. With the Aidilfitri announcement, more Malaysians started to hit the road to return to their hometowns, causing heavy traffic congestion at major highways, especially at the North-South Expressway, Kuala Lumpur-Karak Expressway and East Coast Expressway 1 or LPT-1. With us now is Nightline's Hakim Azman, who is at the Gombak Toll Plaza to bring us the latest updates on the traffic flow. Hakim, give us the update, please.
Okay, thank you, Raymond. Now, I'm here at the Gombak Toll Plaza, and as you can see behind me now, the traffic flow heading to the East Coast is seen to be slow moving and it is congested all the way to Genting Sepah Pahang. It is believed that the congestion has started since 9 p.m. on Thursday night. So, meanwhile, according to the Malaysian Highway Authority (MHA), the traffic flow heading to the south is reported to be smooth flowing, as there are not many vehicles yet. It is believed that this is due to the many motorists have taken the free toll advantage by traveling earlier on Wednesday. It is expected that the public will begin their journey on Friday, as they want to make last-minute preparations for Aidilfitri, as Muslims in the country will celebrate Aidilfitri on Saturday. It was also reported that there were no serious accidents recorded on Thursday. I was also informed that the compliance record for the travel time advisory (TA) is around 40%, which has helped the public to plan their journey accordingly, as well as reduce congestion at the highways. MHA also urged motorists to follow the TTA and take advantage of the free toll offer to plan their journey well. And before starting their journey, it is advisable for the public to have sufficient rest to avoid any unwanted incidents to occur. According to MHA as well, the free toll offer also has had a slight impact on traffic flow over the past 3 days, with a relatively balanced amount of vehicles and no significant congestion. For the latest update on the traffic condition, highway users can check out the info posted on MHA's social media accounts. And for the motorists out there, please drive carefully, drive slowly, and please do not fall asleep or micro-sleeping while driving, because it will endanger other public as well. So that is all from me that I can share with you guys with tonight coverage for Nightline, and Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you, Raymond. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Hakim, for the update. Now, moving on, in a first for the country, the open house with the Prime Minister in conjunction with Hari Raya Aidilfitri this year will be held in 3 states, namely Kedah, Kelantan and Terengganu. The Prime Minister's Department, JPM, in a statement said that the Malaysian Madani open house with Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim will be held in Kedah on April 29th, Kelantan on May 12th, and Terengganu on May 13th. The program in Kedah will be held at Hotel Raya Aloe Star from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with the Home Ministry as the lead ministry. In Kelantan, the program will be held at Stadium Sultan Muhammad Keempat compound from 7 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. with the Natural Resources, Environment and Climate Change Ministry as the lead ministry. In Terengganu, it will be staged at Dewan Al Muktafi Billah Shah, Unizar, from 7 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. with the Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry as the lead ministry. JPM said this marked the first time a Prime Minister would attend the annual large-scale Aidilfitri event in more than one state, as there will not be an open house at his official residence in Putrajaya. The Prime Minister's Department also announced that Datuk Seri Anwar would attend 3 open house events organised by the state governments of Selangor, Pulau Pinang and Negeri Sembilan in conjunction with Aidilfitri. The Malaysian Madani Open House is organised by the Prime Minister's Department through the Performance Acceleration and Coordination Unit as the main coordinator. The government has no plans to introduce a special set of COVID-19 standard operating procedures for Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Health Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa said this is because the number of COVID-19 cases in the country is still under control.
Memang betul kes denggi meningkat, tetapi ia masih dalam kes COVID meningkat, tapi dia masih lagi dalam keadaan yang terkawal. Ya? Jadi kita tak perlu panik sebab kalaupun ada peningkatan, yang kita lihat adalah sub varian yang adalah sub varian Omicron. Maksudnya walaupun mungkin dia mudah berjangkit, tetapi kes-kes itu dia punya keterukan adalah sangat rendah.
However, with the festive season coming up and house visits expected, the minister encouraged the public to wear face masks, especially if they display symptoms. She said this when speaking to the media during her working visit to Hospital Temenggung Sri Maharaja Tun Ibrahim in Johor on Thursday. In the meantime, Jalan Tuanku Abdul Rahman has been buzzing with activity as the Aidilfitri countdown begins. With the celebration just a day away, shoppers are still eager to grab their last-minute essentials before the festivities begin. Our reporter Alif Yunus files in this report.
The last-minute Raya shopping frenzy is in full swing as shoppers across the city make a mad dash to stock up on traditional attire, gift and mouth-watering delicacies, adding to the vibrant energy and buzz of the festive season.
For the vendors along the street, the last-minute rush is both expected and welcome. For them, this is also an opportunity to offer their customers great deals on quality items.
Itu mesti buat. Sebab apa? Bos kita akan turunkan harga untuk lelong untuk dapatkan customer. So customer puas hati dengan kain kita. So kita akan lelong harga, buang harga.
Tahun ni orang datang sebelum puasa orang dah membeli. Sebab apa? Dia orang takut raya mengejut lagi. So diorang datang. So sekarang ni macam ni je lah sebab lepas buka puasa memang ramai.
Bila hujung ni memang kita akan buat harga diskaun lah sebab kita nak clearkan stok yang ada. So kita memang sekarang pun dah diskaun dah 500.
As for the shoppers, the atmosphere of Jalan Tuanku Abdul Rahman during the Raya season is what makes the experience so special. While prices may not be as cheap as some shoppers would like, the deals are still attractive to many.
The environment itself. I love the way that, you know, when it's Hari Raya, there's a difference between another country. So there's a lot of people come here. So I want to feel the vibe of Hari Raya. Moderate. Yes. Still, I can afford it to buy it, but still some of them is like little bit expensive. Harga boleh tahan lah. Nak cakap murah tak, mahal pun tidak. Tapi bila dah hujung-hujung ni susah nak cari saiz lah selalunya. Masih ada lagi yang belum komplit. Tapi kita, yelah, raya pun dalam keadaan yang sederhana lah.
Sulam tu harga dia dalam 45 tapi dapat 35 hari ni. So macam okey lah, dah turun.
Sampai tu previous year. So rasa macam tahun ni lagi
murah sikit lah.
Murah sikit.
So what brings us here is that there are many deals that comes with a very reasonable price, such as RM100 baju Melayu with a free sampin. So I think it's worth it.
Despite the rush and excitement of last-minute shopping, shoppers are reminded to spend their money wisely and avoid wastage. As attractive as the offers and discounts may be, it is essential to stick to a budget and prioritise necessities. Alif Yunus, TV3.
The Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Almarhum Sultan Iskandar, on Thursday granted an audience to Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim at Istana Bukit Serene. The meeting, which lasted almost an hour, was also attended by Johor Menteri Besar Datuk On Hafiz Ghazi. This was announced in a post on Sultan Ibrahim's official Facebook page, with several photographs also uploaded on the social media platform. Sultan Ibrahim received Datuk Sri Anwar at 3 p.m. and the meeting ended after about an hour. During the audience, Datuk Sri Anwar presented the state monarch with details of the country's development as well as that of Johor. Sultan Ibrahim then personally drove Datuk Sri Anwar to Senai International Airport for the Prime Minister's flight back to Kuala Lumpur. This is the third time that Sultan Ibrahim and Datuk Sri Anwar have met in an official capacity since the latter took office. The first was an official working visit in December last year at Istana Bukit Serene. This was followed by an impromptu visit by Sultan Ibrahim to the Prime Minister's official residence, Sri Perdana in Putrajaya on February 4th. The supply quota of subsidized RON 95 petrol and diesel throughout the country will be increased from Friday until May 5th to meet the demands of consumers during the festive period. Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister Datuk Sri Salahuddin Ayub said the increase in quota was to avoid a shortage of fuel supply as occurred last year.
KPDN telah mengambil tindakan proaktif, iaitulah kita dah meluluskan kota tambahan RON 95 dan diesel kepada syarikat minyak. Jadi kita dah tengok keperluan musim perayaan ini, kita tambah kota.
He added that the increase in quota was for more than 4,000 petrol stations nationwide. The minister was speaking after launching the Rahmah sale for imported meat at the Econ Save supermarket in Pontian, Johor on Thursday. In May last year, it was reported that several petrol stations were experiencing fuel supply shortages due to unexpectedly higher demand of up to 50% during the Aidilfitri festive period. In another development, Datuk Sri Salahuddin said his ministry had received many complaints about traders not displaying price tags on goods since the beginning of Ramadan, including those listed in the festive season maximum price scheme in conjunction with Aidilfitri.
Saya dan kementerian menerima banyak aduan dan kita juga terpaksa mengenakan tindakan apabila beberapa kali, apabila banyak kali, termasuk saya sendiri yang mengadakan lawatan-lawatan mengejut, mendapati di antara kesalahan yang besar yang dilakukan oleh peniaga adalah tidak meletakkan tanda harga.
He said the ministry had so far taken a friendly approach by only giving advice to the traders involved and would avoid issuing compound notices to them as much as possible, especially now that Hari Raya Aidilfitri is approaching. However, he stressed that if they are found repeating the offence, authorities will have no choice but to take legal action. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, has arrested 2 officers of an enforcement agency attached to the Malaysian High Commission in Bangladesh. The two, a man and a woman, were arrested on suspicion of accepting bribes in connection with the issuance of foreign visas, as well as the entry of Bangladeshi tourists and workers into the country. According to a source, the duo were arrested on April 17th when they turned up at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya to give their statements. The source added that they have been remanded for 3 days from April 18th until Thursday, based on an order issued by Magistrate Irza Zulaika Rohanuddin in Putrajaya on Tuesday. It was said that more than 20 bank accounts linked to individuals and companies had been frozen in connection with the case. The frozen bank accounts and 8 parcels of land seized so far were worth about 3.1 million ringgit. Meanwhile, MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki confirmed the arrests and said the investigation was being conducted under the MACC Act 2009 and the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act. He said that MACC will not rule out the possibility of several more arrests after this, adding that the Commission is also looking for an individual named Siti Liana Sakijan to help in investigations of the case. Meanwhile, the Foreign Ministry in a statement confirmed that the two detained individuals were Immigration Department officers who were previously placed temporarily to serve at the Immigration Attaché Office at the High Commission of Malaysia in Dhaka, Bangladesh. It said the ministry always prioritizes the aspect of integrity among public servants in the ministry and those serving in Malaysia's diplomatic missions abroad. In this context, the High Commission of Malaysia in Dhaka and the ministry will fully cooperate with the MACC in the investigation of the case, in line with the government's continuous efforts to combat corruption. 2 Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia bank accounts that were previously frozen have since been seized by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, responding to Bersatu's complaints that it still could not access its accounts in CIMB Bank and AmBank that were frozen in January. The MACC say it took control of the two after securing a court order to do so last week. The Commission said it executed the seizure under the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorist Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001, AMLA. Previously, the accounts involved had been frozen on January 12th and 13th in accordance with Section 44 of AMLA for investigations into money suspected to be ill-gotten. Subsequently, the MACC executed the seizure on April 11th based on the investigation and prosecution of Bersatu President Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin under the MACC Act and AMLA. Yemen stampede kills at least 85, injuries dozens. This and more from the Foreign Front right after this short break. To Nightline. Explosions and gunfire resounded in Sudan's capital on Thursday as fighting between the forces of 2 rival generals showed no signs of abating, killing over 300 people since the fighting erupted on Saturday. Some of the fiercest battles have taken place in the capital, Khartoum, a city home to 5 million people, most of whom have been cloistered in their homes without electricity, food and water. The fighting entered a 6-day hours after another truce unraveled, with a crackle of gunfire heard and columns of thick black smoke seen rising from buildings around Khartoum International Airport and the army headquarters in the capital. The weeks-long power struggle erupted into battles between the forces of two generals, Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and his deputy, Muhammad Hamdan Daglo, who commands the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF. Since then, international calls have mounted for an end to hostilities that have spawned increasing lawlessness, death and damage. At least 85 people were killed and over 300 injured in Yemen's capital as residents in the war-torn nation flocked to receive charity handouts from local merchants during the holy month of Ramadan. The crash happened late on Wednesday as hundreds of people crowded into a school in the Bab al-Yemen district of Sana'a in the hopes of getting a charitable donation of $10, which was being handed out by merchants to mark the final days of the fasting month. After a crowd began to form, it was understood that armed Houthis fired into the air in an attempt to control the crowd, apparently striking an electrical wire and causing it to explode, sparking panic and a stampede. The Interior Ministry described the incident as tragic, announcing that they would pay some $2,000 in compensation to each family who lost a relative, while the injured would get about $400. Meanwhile, the two merchants who organized the event had been detained and an investigation is underway. The world could breach a new average temperature record in 2023 or 2024, fueled by climate change and the anticipated return of the El Niño weather phenomenon. Climate models suggest that after 3 years of the La Nina weather pattern in the Pacific Ocean, which generally lowers global temperatures slightly, the world will experience a return to El Niño, the warmer counterpart, later this year. During El Niño, winds blowing west along the equator slow down and warm water is pushed east, creating warmer surface ocean temperatures. The world's hottest year on record so far was 2016, coinciding with a strong El Niño, although climate change has fueled extreme temperatures even in years without the phenomenon. Despite most of the world's major emitters pledging to eventually slash their net emissions to zero, global CO2 emissions last year continued to rise, reflecting the longer-term warming trend driven by greenhouse gas emissions. football, the UAE Pro League. Al Ain beat Sharjah 2-0 in round 23 to cut leaders Shabab Al Ahli's lead at the top to only 3 points. Al Ain needed only 3 minutes to take the lead when Kojo Fodo Laba headed in an inviting cross from the left side. Caio Lucas almost equalised for Sharjah in the 38th minute, but his half volley went just wide. The hosts finally put the result beyond doubt 5 minutes before the final whistle as Laba smashed the ball home from an acute angle, sealing a 2-0 win for Al Ain. With the victory, Al Ain remained in second with 47 points, just 3 points behind leaders Shabab Al Ahli and 2 points above third-placed Al Wahda. Turning to tennis now, the 2023 Banja Luka Open. Novak Djokovic battled into the quarterfinals after dropping the first set to Frenchman Luca Venache. World number one Djokovic rallied back in the second and third sets to send Venache packing with a 6-7, 6-3, 6-2 win in just over 2 hours and 14 minutes. The Serb will face either compatriot Dusan Lajovic or another Frenchman, Gregoire Barrère, who knocked out wildcard Hamad Medjedovic in straight sets in the last 8. In another match, third seed Borna Coric of Croatia could not produce a winning comeback like Djokovic. After levelling the tie at 1 set all, he went on to lose 6-4, 6-7, 6-4 to Laszlo Djere. The Serbian will face Alex Molchan of Slovakia in another quarter-final tie. After this breather, 3 detained in relation to events' abrupt cancellation. Stay tuned. Staying with us. Oscar winner Tan Sri Michelle Yeoh called on Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim at his office in Putrajaya on Thursday. During the meeting, the 61-year-old Tan Sri Yeoh shared and reminisced about the ups and downs of her life's journey, especially how she achieved the highest accolade in show business. In a social media posting on Thursday, Datuk Sri Anwar said that Tan Sri Yeoh also shared that winning the Oscar was very meaningful to her, her family and the people of Malaysia. The Prime Minister described Tan Sri Yeoh's achievement in becoming the first Malaysian and first actress of Asian descent to win the prestigious award as having made the country famous on the international stage and expressed hope that the Ipoh-born Tan Sri Yeoh will continue to succeed. A company director was among 3 individuals detained in connection with a Raya Sale Festival, which is said to have been cancelled at the 11th hour and caused losses to traders who signed up. Dang Wangi District Police Chief ACP Nur Delhan Yahya said the suspects comprised 2 women aged 50 and 51 and a 23-year-old man. ACP Nur Delhan said the arrests were following police reports lodged on Wednesday regarding the cancelled event known as the Hooray X-Fest Raya Festival. The suspects have been remanded for 2 days to facilitate further investigations. He said the investigation was being conducted under Section 420 of the Penal Code for cheating, adding that 6 reports had been lodged against the event so far. The 3-day festival, which was scheduled to be held at the World Trade Center, WTC, beginning Wednesday, was reported to have been cancelled at the last minute, causing traders to suffer massive losses. Several traders also went to social media to express their frustrations over the matter. This has been Nightline. As we wrap up, let's take a look at excerpts of Tonton's Aidilfitri drama entitled Seindah Kasih, which can be streamed for free on the Tonton app until April 30th. With that, I'm Raymond Goh. Thank you for tuning in, and to our Muslim viewers, Selamat Bersahur.